Hey, what's going on, everybody? Ali Madawi, Debbie Morton, and the one and only Chef Katrina on a brand new edition of Yup Daily. And oh my goodness, a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement, and a lot of challenge coming ahead of us, which we're going to be talking about. And, just keep your eye on that trigger in the bottom. You may be wondering, why is that thing keep going around saying yup? To freedomchallenge.com. Why? Well, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. First and foremost, ladies, how are you doing this morning?
Amazing.
Amazing.
Love it, love it, love it. Now, for everybody else that is watching from all over the world in 6 continents where we do exist and operate, ladies and gentlemen, we are excited to have you in here. First and foremost, let me know, how is your day going? It is Hump Day. And in this beautiful Wednesday, we got so many amazing, fantastic, incredible things. Chris Beddoes, Ohio, what's up? Mary Kedman from England, hello. Debbie Salmons from Vero Beach, Florida, what's going on? Melissa from Oregon. Hey, Lisa, what's going on? Lisa's from New Jersey. She's actually, believe it or not, about 40 minutes from me. Anthony Pincerella, what's going on, my man? I've been meaning to talk to you. We got to talk. Gaetan from Canada, Allison from Texas, John Jennings with a G. What's going on, my friend? All right. Well, I think we're all warmed up right now. And for everybody else that is chiming in, feel free to start a watch party. Feel free to start your own group shares. And I think you're going to get a little bit of nuggets. Now, before we get into the discussion, how many of you would agree marketing sounds fun? Attraction marketing is the cool thing to say. But prospecting, yeah, it's a little bit of a struggle. And most of the time, people mix those two, where they take prospecting and marketing and assume if I put a poster or a flyer of my product, therefore everybody's going to say, hi, here's my credit card. And I'm pretty sure you would agree, I'm being a little sarcastic. It just doesn't work that way. So today I have 2 experts with me in those spaces that are not only heavily documented in their own spaces. For example, we have a heavyweight champion, number 5 in the world in Pinterest, and a queen when it comes to attraction marketing and understanding the digital space, whether it's from funnels, whether it's from attracting people or social media overall. And I got this rock star right in here. That is Debbie Morton, who has developed and built organizations and absolutely did it the classy and the right way. She understood the elements of traditional business, of the traditional workforce and online business, and she is able to understand what to say, when to say it, with whom, how much time to spend, and is really making a mega impact within our community. So ladies, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share this Yup Daily. So why don't we start with you, Debbie Morton, because you are in my favorite coast, and that is the West Coast, and tell us a little bit about your perspective on marketing versus prospecting.
Great. So for those of you who are going to be in the challenge, I'm actually going to give a great analogy. One of the things that so often happens is that we're sending a link to someone and we think that that's marketing, and it's not. It's actually spamming. And what we really want to do is be attracting people to us. Prospecting is when you're reaching out and messaging people, but it doesn't have to be icky. And I think that that's where so many people feel like they're salesy or they're spammy when they're prospecting, and it doesn't have to be that way. Prospecting is just simply reaching out, having conversations with people, having, an opportunity to ask some questions in order to find a pain so that you can ask permission to solve that pain. And when you go about prospecting that way, it doesn't have to feel icky. And then with marketing, and we'll let Chef talk a little bit more about the marketing piece, but that's getting people reaching out to you. And that takes consistency. It takes consistency in building your brand every day. I've been posting on social media and putting value out there for a good couple of years right now. And I'd say several times a month, I'll have someone reach out to me and say, I want to know more about what you do. I want to know more about, but that's because I've been showing up consistently. I wasn't just a big flash. I wasn't just all of a sudden I joined an opportunity and I'm all over my Facebook feed. And then a month later I disappear. I've been consistently providing value so people know I've been around for a while and I'm going to be around for a while. I'm now safe for some to reach out and say, hey, what is it that you do? That's the marketing piece that I've done in my branding. So
right on. Now, Chef, you absolutely have simplified understanding the different platforms of social media. And some platforms are attraction marketing friendly. Others are more value and search friendly. Could you tell us a little bit, a sneak peek of what we should anticipate, obviously, on the challenge, but give us some golden nuggets for those who are watching today?
Oh, absolutely. Like, this is something I dive deep into the challenge. This is actually one of my favorite parts because it's very interactive. And we actually talk about the different platforms and what they are, whether they're a search marketing or a social marketing piece, because there's both. And I love what Debbie said, because marketing is both elements. The whole purpose of marketing is to actually talk to somebody. And I know that sounds really weird for most people, but it's actually true. It's like, if you want a customer, you're going to actually have to get into a conversation with them, right? So you guys are going to learn a little bit about which platforms, and it's always very interesting when you guys do this challenge with me, in learning, and like, I didn't know that was a search marketing platform. I didn't know that was a social platform. I didn't know there was a combination of things you can do on platforms. So you guys are going to get a real good sneak peek. And Debbie and I tie into each other, because marketing, like she said, it's called the active and the non-active marketing elements. The non-active is the posting. It's just putting the value out there. But the active prospecting is actually in those follow-up calls, on those emails, getting people onto a Zoom. Like, there is a blend of both. You really can't build a business without one or the other. You need the blend of. So strengthening, or at least having an understanding how each of them work, really set the presence for how your brand gets developed, for how your business gets developed. So I love this challenge. I learn something every time I do this challenge. I learn something from Ali every time I do this challenge, right? There's new nuggets that get delivered. And I'm super, super excited about this one, because we have some top marketers that are going to be on here also. Like, I'm super excited about the business and entrepreneurial side of this.
Cool.
Seriously.
No, I can't wait. Well, if you haven't heard, we have James Melanchek from Secret Millionaire from ABC, who's coming back for the third time. And we also have, for the very first time, debuting on our Yup to Freedom Challenge, Kevin Harrington, the $5 billion man himself, the original shark from Shark Tank. And we cannot wait to collaborate and share the platform with him. I know inside we're like little kids, like, oh my God, I'm going to be on the same spot as he is, right? Now, I want to play a game, and this is the very first time we're going to do it on the update. I'm going to start with you, Chef. So this game is called Yay or Nay. So I'm going to give you a situation, and you give me the yay or nay, and tell me why you said yay or why you said nay, and a little bit of a nugget on it, and then we'll come back to you, Debbie. So, Chef, you ready for it?
I'm ready. Bring it.
Tagging 99 people on my flyer for my event. Yay or nay?
Wait, say that again.
Tagging 99 people on a Facebook post about my flyer for an event. Yay or nay? Is that a yay or nay for you?
Oh, I'm torn on this one, because there is ability to do it correctly, and there's the inability to massively do it incorrectly. So I'm going to weigh heavier on the nay side of this. There's a balance. And again, this is knowing your audience and knowing who your leaders are, knowing who you can tag on posts, right? Like, do you have permission to tag them on things like that? That's a big piece of this. But the big piece is nay. I would not recommend putting up a post and then tagging 25 irrelevant people that you may or may not know onto that post. That is a heavy, and guys, everyone's nodding their head. That's a heavy spam method. It's a heavy spam method. So I'm a big nay on that one in general. But if it's like a post that I know that I want to have my friends see, or somebody just as a reminder, there's a difference. I have their permission to remind them about something. I might tag them on a post then. But again, it goes back to building your brand. It really goes back to knowing what you can and cannot do with your audience and who's following you. Yeah. So I'm border, but I'm way nay on this one. Like, if I were to be like, I'd be like,
I love it. We're looking for authenticity and truth. Now, for those of you who are watching, I want you to play along with us in the comment. I want to see yay or nay. All right, here we go. Debbie, your turn. You ready for it?
Okay.
A scripted message about an event or a product or an opportunity, and just going down my friend list, 2,500 people, and just go in that messenger, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. Yay or nay?
That's a big nay for me. And you know what? It used to be you could do that when and a well-crafted message, not just a here's my link, here's my link, here's my link. And this is we're building a network. And in network, everybody is different. So I am always, always, always looking at someone's profile and making that message personal. And the message can be similar, but I always engage in a conversation before I do an invite. I'm always asking a question that gets somebody talking, and then I can give that invite to solve that pain. So copy paste messages is spam. Don't do it. It's icky. That's a big, big, big nay.
Love it, love it. All right, Chef, back to you. So Chef, you ready for this one? Generic content on a post. It's usually but I'm part of a company, I'm passionate about it. But generic content on a post, yay or nay?
So generic content on a post, this is going to be, this is in all honesty, how my response is and how I'm thinking about this. If you are in an industry and you're sharing some generic information that is relevant to your industry, so whether you're in the health and wellness industry, whether you're an entrepreneur, if you have a magazine article or something that you think is relevant to your following, absolutely share it. Because it builds credibility, because what it shows them is that you're a leader that's looking for resources that can benefit them. So when you're out there looking for things that are going to impact or be important to your audience, then yes, look for it within your area, within your industry. Again, relating back to your audience. So a generic post that is that's value add, yes. Generic post that's just out there for the sake of being out there, it's a waste of your time. Yeah. If you're just going to throw something out there that's very generic, that doesn't have a call to action, that doesn't have any intent and purpose, that's a waste of your time and your energy, and it's not serving anybody. So generic, not so much. Authentic, much better. Authentic with a purpose, so much better.
Yeah.
That's just for me, that if you're going to be building this, be authentically yourself and give people a reason to follow you. Give people a reason to want to engage with you. That's what I'm going to have to say about that question.
Perfect. And one last one for you, Debbie. This is a fun game. We should do this more often. Now, this one for you, Debbie. Facebook group posting, yay or nay?
I think Facebook group post. Are you talking about going into someone else's groups?
Yeah, being part of other groups of posting.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's a way for you to connect with other people who are in your target audience. You need to be very respectful of the group that you're in, and respectful of the guidelines, but a question, like posting a question into a group, creates a lot of activity. People love to answer questions, and so it creates a lot of activity. And then those are individuals, anybody who's commenting on that question post, you get to go in and now you can look at their profiles, you can start to friend them. I say yes, work in groups, but do it in a very classy way. Make sure you're operating within the guidelines of the group organizer. And don't make your posts spammy. Make your posts providing value. When you provide value in groups, people start to know you. They'll start to connect with you if you're putting value into. So questions, and then also value adds into groups. And also, you can also contact the organizer and let them know what you're doing, and so that the organizer knows, what you're doing there inside the group as well.
So you're saying don't take a picture of a product with the SKU number and the price tag and saying, hey guys, we got 20% off.
No. And I've always taught, when you put your product or your company, you're your brand. It's you, Inc. And your products and your tools and your service and your company, those are the things that you get to provide to solve someone's pain. When you put your product on and you're listing the name and you're listing your link and everything else, you just went into competition with Google, because nobody likes to be sold on Facebook or social media. So they're going to Google that, and they're going to find one of two things: something bad and a reason why not to buy from you, or they're going to find maybe a blog post that added some great value around how to use it or some different results, and then you're going to lose the sale to them. So yeah, never ever, just go into a group to try to sell your stuff. Go into a group to provide value or to create curiosity that creates those relationships.
Absolutely. I got a question for each one of you, and whether Chef or Debbie, you want to take a jab at it first. in the direct sales model specifically, one of the challenges is, do I go all in and wear the t-shirt, or do I brand myself, or is there a way to create a balance? What is your take on that? And this was a conversation that I actually was having with someone yesterday. And it's a touchy-feely subject, because it's as if you're telling somebody, like, come to my church, leave the world, right? Versus, no, be yourself, but you can still be spiritual, right? So how do you go about it? You both, being that you are master trainers for our community, but you still have your own brand. So how do you create a balance and make it both successful from both elements? Whomever wants to go first.
Chef, you want that one, or go ahead?
No, so for me, this has always been a question. I've been involved in and around probably 20,000 network marketers over the last few years. And this question always comes up. I want to be promoting my company, and I'm also told to self-brand. And I have a lot of interests. And like, it just becomes like this whole question around, do I build a Facebook page just for my business? That's just this company. How do I personal brand that? And then we tend to get stuck in an avenue, right? We tend to find that we're just one straight avenue. I have never met anybody that was born and they were born a network marketer. Like, you didn't come out and be like, hey, network marketing is going to be my lifetime career, right? It's typically not how we come into the world. For those of you that have jobs, you have your job and then you have your extracurricular activities. You have your family, you have your faith, you have different things. Like, there's more to you than just one piece of your life. And I think people gravitate to who you are as an individual. So when we talk about going all in with a company, go all in, plant your flag. I always tell people, I said, plant the flag, man, just tap that sucker into the ground and spend the time there. Spend at least 12 months to 18 months there and do what needs to be done, like do the work, right? At the same time, in planting your flag, you're being educated. You've been educated here today on the Yep Daily. You've probably been told to read some books. For those of you that know about the Power List, like, you want to be out there sharing what had you say, this was the company I chose. Because if, entrepreneurship is important to you, understanding how to market is important to you, understanding how to leverage incentives is important to you, then make that part of your conversation. If health and wellness is important to you, I kind of expect either you to be talking healthy food or exercise or something about that's in your life. Right? It's not like it's separate. It's actually who you are. And you just happen to found something that aligns with your values, aligns with what you want to accomplish in the world. So that's really how I say, if you're going to put this together, be who you are authentically and just be a person that sources is you're the resource of the resource. You get to point people to what's making an impact or a difference in your business, whether it's a book, a community, a product, that just becomes the extension of who you are, but not the whole conversation.
Makes total sense. Debbie Moore.
Yeah. One of the things on, I'm getting Facebook friends all the time, and then they're sending me a link, and I go to their profile and I just see product. I have no clue who they are. And there was a gal last week, I messaged her back and I said, I'm just curious, why did you send this to me? Why would you think that I wanted this product? And, there was nothing about her on her page. I don't know anything, nothing. And it's really important, because we are in sales, no matter what business you're in, we're always marketing and selling ourselves. People buy from people that they know, they like, and they trust. So when someone's following, for instance, my page, I love to travel. I'm always posting pictures when I'm traveling. I like to go out and dance. We can't do that too much anymore right now, but people know who I am, and you're attracting your tribe. And what I want to say to everybody who's watching this is, you are unique. There isn't another you around, and the interest that you have and who you are as an individual, let people see that. There's someone, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I'm so proud. She's gone through the challenge several times, and she's now doing some lives on her personal page. And people are seeing who she is for the first time. She's doing such an amazing job. She got to practice on those inside of the challenge, but people are seeing who she is and what she's passionate about. And now people can start to connect with who that is. And one of the things I love about the challenge is we have a private group. So if you're not used to going live and you're like, I don't want to go live and show myself. And I want to say this, because today today, you know how Facebook reminds you of your your
Memories.
4 years ago? It was my very first live. My very first live was 4 years ago. And I didn't want to be on screen. So I turned my camera around. There had been a lot of rain in the area that I lived. And the lake, we lived in a lake community, and it was flooding. So my first live was just me. I knew that I needed to start going live with the camera pointed at me, but I got used to it by being the voice behind it and just telling about something that was happening. And so, that was, it was funny that came up today. It's like, oh my gosh, 4 years ago, I was terrified to even be on screen. But when people can know who you are, even if it's just popping on for a little bit, just to say, hey, I learned this incredible thing today in this challenge. Or if you read a book, sharing something in a book, just providing that value, people will start to connect with you, follow you, and hear your message and reach out to you. And when you reach out to them, so when I'm messaging somebody, I'm creating a new connection on Facebook, I'm starting a conversation. Guess what they're doing? They're going through my news feed to see who I am. And so before they're responding to me, it's like, who is this girl? They're going to watch a few of my lives. They're going to read a few of my posts, and they're like, oh, okay, she knows what she's talking about. She's legitimate. It's really important that you're building your brand on Facebook as you're reaching out and doing that prospecting. Hope that answered your question. I went off on all kinds of tangents there.
I was just waiting. I hope you would share at least with us, even if it's privately, that first live that you've done, because I think it'll, most people see the end result and they're like, man, she's so amazing. She's so natural. And they're like, yeah, only if you knew. I can't wait for Facebook to send me my first live. I remember it because my mentor at the time was like, you need to delete that right away. I didn't. Yeah, but I hid it at the time. And it was literally, because at the time you couldn't do sideways. You could be just like this. It was me, like in your face. It was just a horrible thing to do. So, Chef, you remember your first live?
I do. So before live was a thing, we actually had YouTube back in the day, still do today. And we had something called a flip camera. I don't know if you guys remember what it was, but it was like a camera that had a USB attachment so that you could film yourself. You had like a couple hours you could film, plug it in and use that. And that was my first. I remember I was sitting in my patio outside, and I had my little stand up, and I had the thing, and I had to record, and I had to find myself in the camera. I remember recording it, right? And then I played it back, and I was like, I sound horrible. That's my voice, because you don't hear how it comes out on, like, you hear yourself, but you don't really necessarily know you're recording. I was like, I don't ever want to listen to myself do my videos ever again, because it would literally stop me. I didn't post it, but that video still lives on YouTube.
Yeah.
That first video totally lives on YouTube. I'm like, I'm not taking that down.
I'll be sending you guys some videos that I still have from MySpace days. You will be like, I am glad I did not meet you back then, because I'll never do business with you. But in any case, let's wrap it up with this. We've had 9 amazing challenges thus far, and it was always one getting better than the other, getting better than the other, getting better. This is probably as best as we've ever gotten it, and I look forward for the one after it, because we're working on something even greater. But what is one thing that you're looking forward to from this challenge? And let's start with you, Debbie.
Oh, one thing that I'm looking for. So I'm excited to hear Kevin Harrington. He's going to be speaking here for the first time. I'm excited to learn from him. And what I get so much out of the challenge, there's always something that I get for myself. But what really just warms my heart is just seeing the growth in the individuals going through the challenge. And I think that this one is just going to be off the charts amazing, with people like James Malinchak and Kevin Harrington. And again, all of the speakers that do such an amazing job at providing value and education inside of our community.
Yeah. Chef?
I'm excited because I love the fact that we get access to millionaires. So one of the things that I remember way back early on, about 7 years ago, and this was the thing, if you ever want to know how to build a business, surround yourself by millionaires, right? Be surrounded by them, ask a millionaire out to lunch, like take the steps to find out how they're building businesses, right? And we have access to that inside this challenge. And not only do we have access to millionaires, we have billionaires. Right? Like AB. And that's pretty amazing that you can get poured into by somebody like that and have that much access through a challenge to that type of leadership. So it's, for me, I'm excited to learn again. I'm excited to just sit back and pretend like I know nothing. This is my first day being an entrepreneur. What can you teach me? And I'm excited for this community because I love being around this entrepreneurial community. There's so much I learn from watching the people take on their action assignments. Like, there is something I learned by watching every single video. Now, do I watch every single one of them? No, because there's a lot more of you now. But when I plug into them, what you guys actually train me. I don't even know if you guys realize that, but when you guys do your assignments that are you're going to see in this challenge, for those who haven't done it, when you take that on, you actually start training us. And for me, that is so valuable inside this challenge. So I'm looking at this from like, entrepreneurs unite, right? Like, this is it. This is the kickoff to your year. Come one, come all. Let's do this together.
Love it. Love it. Well, I'm looking forward to each and every one of you in the comments. So let us know, what is the one thing that you're looking forward to in this 10th challenge and the very first one of 2021. Yup to Freedom Challenge. We're excited. For myself, this is going to be a foundational piece for the remainder of the year. Mm-hmm. I'm so looking forward to learn, implement, hit the reset button for me. Every 90 days, I usually try to reinvent myself, learn new things, unlearn bad things, get out of my comfort zone, make sure that I become a student once again. And this week is going to do just that for me. So I remember the first challenge that we had before July, and that very first challenge, I recreated so many elements of myself, whether it was the podcast, the audiobook, or whatever the case may be. I'm looking to do that all over again, but to a whole new level. And to hear directly from James or to hear directly from Kevin. Look at me, James and Kevin. What's up, guys? Malinchak and Kevin Harrington. And obviously the rest of our master trainers, you guys as well, and everyone else. I cannot wait. This is going to be a huge reset button for me for 2021. 2020 was an amazing year for probably many online entrepreneurs and us specifically. But 2021 is going to be to a whole new level. This is where the shareholders come out gun swinging. So thank you all. I appreciate you all. Chef Debbie, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to have you on this Yup Daily. Please make sure you go right now, not tomorrow, not tonight, not later. YupToFreedomChallenge.com. And for those of you who have registered in the past, you already have your spot locked in. You got a referral link if you want to invite other individuals. If you don't know how to get it, support@YupTribe.com, and you'll make sure that we help you out with that. But let's show up. Let's be present, and let's make an impact for each and every one of us. Ladies, I appreciate you, and I thank you. It looks like without me touching anything, this broadcast is going to be over. You ready for it? Watch. 3, 2, 1. Peace out, everybody.